Hey Encino, we've made exciting upgrades to your Amazon Fresh store, and it's time to celebrate with savings. Pick up our circular in-store and find big deals updated every week. Visit your refreshed Amazon Fresh grocery store on Ventura Boulevard.
Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio.
Live from Los Angeles, the Win Without Competing show with Dr. Arlene Barrow, host and creator of the Right Fit Method, the key to professional and personal success. Now, let's join Dr. Arlene.
Thank you for joining me today. Branding is the key to your career success and mine. Can you imagine a world without brands? Of course not. Then why are we presenting ourselves as anonymous without even knowing it? If you're not satisfied with your career or business success, you must analyze your brand. Some people shudder at the thought of branding themselves. They visualize hucksters. They adopt modesty, which becomes a non-functional brand. Others opt to fit in, which is their number one priority. Who can find them? They're brandless. And of course, some are hiding behind the veil of email rather than picking up the phone. Recently, I have observed that personal voicemails only include phone numbers. Brandless again. If you opt out and focus on modesty, fitting in, hiding behind the veil of email, and the anonymous voicemail, that's fine if you're not interested in career advancement. On the other hand, if finding a new position is a top priority, whether you're employed or unemployed, you must brand yourself. Why? In a flash, employers must differentiate you from others who do what you do. Are you submitting your resume or curriculum vitae to employers online? Then your documents are swimming in the sea of email. Who will notice you and why? Do you want to be selected as a comparison candidate who will be interviewed and not hired? I think not. Let's check that sentence again. I'm going to repeat it. Do you want to be selected as a comparison candidate who will not be interviewed, who will be interviewed, but not hired? Think about what I'm saying. You could be selected, but there's no serious interest. Do you really want that? Of course not. If you want to be identified as a right fit candidate who should be interviewed, you must have a distinct, intriguing, and recognizable brand that matches the position. Remember, it's up to you to convince the employer during the interview to hire you. To do that, you will need to flush out the details of the job as well as eliminate all objections and distractions. You want to emerge as the flawless fit. Let's dig deeper. Your brand has two sides like a coin: the written script, the resume or curriculum vitae, and the verbal broadcast, the interview. And you must know how to brand both sides. Do not assume that professionally prepared resumes or curricula vitae will include your brand. These documents are no longer just factual transmissions of your career history, but also they must include a brand that is special. They must be carefully crafted to convince the employer to hire you. To do that, your brand must take center stage. As for the interview, you should orchestrate the encounter to demonstrate that you're not just the right fit, but the flawless fit. The goal is to convince the employer to hire you after the first in-person interview. To do that, you must carry on an engaging conversation. I have observed a decline in verbal communication skills coupled with the inability to read the employer. Knowing what to say, when to say it, and how are critical to eliciting a job offer. If you're not getting the job offers that you want, practice interviewing and making cold calls. I feel a chill in the air. I love making cold calls. This is a great way to differentiate you from others who want the same job as you do. Do you really need to email your documents first? Not necessarily so. Your goal is to stand out, not blend in. Do you need to continue branding after you're hired? Absolutely. It's essential for career advancement. Think about these situations. A scientist wants to become a CEO. A controller wants to become a CFO. A physician wants to become a medical director. These are examples of expanding your brand to assume new functional responsibility. To do that, you must set the stage to move up to the new level of responsibility using the right branding strategies. If you have specific branding questions, please email drbaro@winwithoutcompeting.com or call my office to arrange a time to speak with me. 310-443-4277. If you would like me to share your question on my next radio show in January, or call in to ask the question on the air, please let me know. In my opinion, branding is an art and a science. My Right Fit method combines both. Here's how it all began. When I was a child, my dad taught me two important lessons. Make decisions using the standard of the right fit, and understand with whom you're dealing. I learned about standards in the supermarket. We didn't compare and contrast bananas to decide which ones to buy. I had a verbal blueprint of the right fit banana and selected right fits only. My dad did not realize that he had planted the seed for me to create the standard of the right fit. As I was growing up, I knew that I was making decisions differently. Not until I was an adult did I realize the significance of what I had learned. The same is true for my second important lesson. Understand with whom you're dealing. I grew up in Brookline, Massachusetts, a few blocks away from the birthplace of John F. Kennedy. My dad was well known in our community. He loved to walk. Side by side, we walked and stopped to talk with people. My dad talked and I listened. After each conversation, he quizzed me, wanting to know what the real message was. I did understand the real message. I learned to read between the lines. Later in life, I realized that for many, this is a very difficult task. In my adult life, I had a highly successful career in the medical field. Positions were created for me because of how I branded myself. To learn more, read my book bio at winwithoutcompeting.com. When I entered the world of executive search, I quickly decided that I would present one candidate, the right fit candidate, and close the search. I made 40 placements with the founding editor-in-chief of WebMD using my right fit method. To hear about this, visit the homepage of winwithoutcompeting.com and listen to Tom Lombardo speak the foreword. Delighted with the success of my right fit method, I founded Barrow Global Search, Inc., a retained executive search firm, of which I am the CEO. Then I wrote Win Without Competing to teach you how to present yourself as the one right fit at the first in-person interview and close the search. The book was nominated for a Business Book Award. The readers started calling my office for me to mentor them on how to implement my right fit method, which led to the creation of my very special branding package and the expansion of my firm. Here's a recent success story. I had a client who was a finance executive who had been downsized, and he was delighted that his reputation brought consulting clients to him. However, he missed working within a corporation at a high-level position. We worked together and created the package. At the first interview, this is what happened. The CEO, the CFO from a prestigious multi-billion-dollar company, flew across the country to meet my client. The CEO turned to the HR VP and asked whether she had created my client's branding package. "Oh, no," she said, "I know nothing about it." My client said, "I did." The COO said, "Please explain this line." That line was the key branding line of the package. Shortly after that, he flew cross-country to meet with the COO of the multi-billion-dollar company. His offer came in at the vice president level, potential to CFO, and he attends the board meetings. After that first interview, the employer spoke to no one else. Curious about your brand? I created the app, I Brand You for Hire, Rate Your Brand, 0 to Hire, for you to evaluate your brand. To learn more, visit the homepage of winwithoutcompeting.com. Be sure to click on the video featuring the Wise Job-Seeking Cow. To listen to more radio shows, visit drbarro.com. To learn more about Barrow Global Search, Inc., visit Barrow Global, that's BarroGlobal.com. To arrange to meet with me in person at our offices adjoining UCLA in Los Angeles at 10940 Wilshire Boulevard, call 310-443-4277. Too far to travel? Then let's chat by phone. I'm very busy spreading the word about my right fit method and may be speaking in your city. Watch for me. Remember this trigger tip. If you don't understand what your brand is, you can't sell it. Thank you for listening to the Win Without Competing show. I will talk with you again in January. Goodbye for now. Dr. Arlene.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. Take control with Reputation Defender. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-811-4975 to speak to an expert.
Hey, federal employees, last chance to pick a FedVIP plan. Invest in the dental plan that supports total health. Enroll at ucdfedvip.com. Grin from within. United Concordia Dental. Learn more at ucdfedvip.com.